Nina Schick, how do you see the future of AI in a world where synthetic media has become generative AI, has become a very strange version of reality?
I think that the next 10 years are going to be absolutely wild. The stuff of science fiction is coming true, right? And I think that we're only in the very foothills of how AI is going to transform our society. And that's going to play out in some incredible ways, like how it's going to further scientific research, how we can begin to tackle challenges that seemed inconceivable, like ending all disease. And also it's going to play out in some very strange ways. What does the future of content look like? What does the future of social media look like when we're engaging with AI-generated content that's personalized for each one of us in real time? And at the same time, this is all playing out on a very kind of big macroeconomic level as a competition between nation states and transforming business. So all I can say is the next 10 years, I think, are going to be wild. They're going to be very different. And exponential change is perhaps the best phrase to describe what I think is going to happen.
How does a country like South Africa and countries on the African continent prepare for that future where it's really not at the main table?
If countries like South Africa and other countries in Africa and around the rest of the world can't be at the main table in terms of building the infrastructure, owning the most valuable companies, then I think what they have to do is start thinking about innovation, right? Because what's going to happen once all this competition plays out is that intelligence itself is going to become like a commodity. And if you have intelligence on tap as a commodity, and let's say that intelligence is increasingly capable and able to take action in the world, then it actually gives a huge advantage to players it levels the playing field in such a way that anyone who has a good idea, any entrepreneur, anybody who wants to take scientific research now has an opportunity to play. So if you can't play in the infrastructure game, you have to win in the innovation game. And that time to prepare for that is now. It's the people that unlock the real value. So who's the generation of people that understand how to unlock that next level of value when AI is manifested as intelligence as a commodity?
Looking 10 years into the future, what do you think the world will look like as a result of AI?
I always think that I disagree with any kind of dystopian or overtly utopian narratives. I think it's going to be a mix of both. Because in some ways, I think the world will become far more complex, and based on where we're standing now, might even seem inconceivable, in terms of how we socially interact with one another, how we interact with simulated environments, the fact that even embodied AI applications, from one end, like electronic vehicles, but autonomous vehicles on the other end, things like domestic robots start becoming a reality. So we won't recognize it in that way from where we stand now. And on the other hand, I think we're going to unlock so much more about the nature of biology and nature of understanding of the world, that some of the things that seem confusing and intractable to us now, like disease, like how to handle climate change, we have a lot more clarity on that. So on one hand, a confusing and different world. On the other hand, a world with a lot more clarity on some of the most complex issues that we do not know how to decipher today.
Thank you, Nina.
Thank you.